concept of momentum and shot speed or velocity. And so to start with, let's calibrate your shot speed. And to do that, we're going to call a trip of the cue ball down to the end and back to that, well, let's say back to this spot is a 1. What you're seeing here is the beginning of a lesson on shot velocity and momentum. And as Robin and I are talking, we're talking about how to calibrate her shot speed. She takes a couple of shots, and then at some point I comment that she's not going through the whole shot process that we've talked about, and she asks a question that is super important. So let's skip forward to that. I'm not going to present the lesson on velocity and momentum here. We're going to do that in a separate video, because she brought up what I think is the most important question for her to ask, and it has to do with why is it that the things you're asking me to do, the way you're asking me to do my pre-shot routine, doesn't look like what more skilled players are doing. And this is the central issue that Robin needs to understand in order to progress. And it's why I want to just stop everything and focus on this and talk about what is it that professional level players are doing that amateur players aren't doing. And what is it that Robin in particular is doing that is limiting her from being able to improve? And I think she can improve really quickly because she has a great stroke. But her pre-shot routine is emphasizing the wrong things. And the pros are emphasizing the right things. And we're going to take a look at that. Here we go. It's great.
Oh, good.
Yeah. Your bridge is good. Your grip is good. Your foot spacing. I like the way you're holding your back leg straight and your front leg is flexed a little bit. Okay, so you made that. That's a 1. Now we're going to do a 2, which is to come, that's a lag. Okay, you didn't go through your whole shot process there. Even when you're doing something like this where you're not hitting an object at all, you need to go through the whole thing.
I do?
The foot placement, the standing back,
the walking into it, and
the looking at your target, all that stuff you should be doing on every shot you ever do for the rest of your life.
oh my gosh. So just to, the thing is as I watch you guys, I don't see anybody doing this big giant shot presses that I'm doing.
But you're not Ryan Hope.
But at some point will
You're
will
not
it either
them.
get faster?
There
or
will
what?
come a time when you'll be able to do this. You know, if you watch Earl Strickland, he's walking around the table like,
Yeah.
he goes, boom. But he's doing everything, but he's doing it
Okay, that's what I want.
at light speed compared to what you're capable. But at some point in his life, he had to have trained himself to do that. And that's the point that we're at with you,
Yes.
is we're training your brain. And then, like, you know, the little thing I do where I tell the beginner to shuffle up to the thing like this.
Yeah.
Well, they're not going to have to do that forever, but they're going to do it to set the right distance here. And then after a while, they'll go like this, and they'll do what all the rest of the players do, and they'll come down and they'll have that foot the right distance.
Okay.
But you have to go through that process. And when you're training, you should be going through that process all the time.
Okay.
Robin's question is really important, and it puzzles a lot of people, but let's just watch. This is some recent footage I got when Fedor Gorst was visiting Jim's place. And the key thing to look for here is how he's placing his rear foot on each shot. He's upright and coming down from behind on the shot, and he steps back and places his rear foot on that shot line. Everything's in line. His shoulder, his hand, his foot, everything's in line. And he does this every single time. And he will do it on every shot he ever takes. Now, he's able to find the contact point quite readily just by glancing at the table. He doesn't have to take the time that most amateurs do. but every single shot, his foot is placed exactly on the shot line, and his upper arm, his lower arm, his stick, and his eye are exactly on that line. And that is what I want to encourage Robin to do, and to stop worrying so much about the line of the object ball to the pocket. That's something that happens as a result of the shot, not as a cause of the shot. So if we take a look at Robin from a previous video, as you just saw, Feder takes almost no concern for the pathway of the object ball to the pocket, but Robin spends most of her time looking at that, and then she comes down on the cue ball without placing her body in a proper orientation to the path that it's going to take. The object ball path is a result of the shot. The cue ball path is the cause of that result, and that is the thing that they are emphasizing that she's not. And let's just contrast that with this. This is Earl Strickland taking a shot. He spends virtually no time figuring out the line from the ball to the pocket because he can see that. But he spends a lot of time standing on the line and placing his foot on the line that the cue ball is going to take. And this is true of every shot he takes, and it's true of every single pro. And it's true of this very good amateur player, Ryan Hogans, who I mentioned in the video when I said, well, you're not Ryan Hogans. And what Ryan does is concentrates heavily on the shot line, as we're going to show in the slow motion video of this shot. So here he is. He's standing back and assessing the line from the cue ball. He goes over a little bit there and looks at the object ball contact point and grabs it. But that's the easy part. The hard part is the shot line itself. And for that, he's being very careful and getting straight on the shot line, placing his foot, his arm, his eyes, and everything right over that shot line before he shoots. So what is the difference between them and Robin? They are putting almost all of their concentration on the path from the cue ball to the object ball, and Robin is putting almost all of hers on the path from the object ball to the pocket. Look at how careful she is here, and now she's about to come down on the cue ball without lining it up at all, and I stop her and we have a conversation about it. So let's go back over this video with the vocals on. We're going to discuss what is important about the shot and lining up the shot. Robin emphasizes the pathway of the object ball to the pocket, and that is not very important. What's important is emphasizing the pathway of the cue ball to the object ball, and that's what the pros are doing that Robin is not doing. She's concentrating much more on the pathway of the object ball to the pocket. Now, 30 or 90, you got to be asking
30.
yourself. Yes. Because that's going to bring you right out over here, right?
Yes.
And then you'll still have a shot at the 6 if you make this. Okay, get back on that shot. Come on, Robin.
I did already.
You did there,
Did
but
what?
you didn't over here. I want you to get this line. Now come on over here and get, it's there, here.
Okay, wait, hold on a second. I gotta see my lights again. Okay.
Now come over here and get your line to the ghost ball.
Yeah.
From back there, yes.
Okay. No, I can't see it.
Yeah, I know, because you're not lining up on it. My eyes are right on the line right now. So if you get dead center behind the cue ball and look at my eyes, keep coming over that way. That's your line, more like that.
Yeah.
You see that now?
Yeah.
That's the line.
Yeah.
And you can only see it from back there. You can't see it from up close. You were going to hit that ball way too full over here.
Yeah, I was.
Now you might overcut it, but I'd rather see you do that. Because you're closer to the line that way. So I think this lesson is so important that we're going to just forget about continuing the lesson of the day and come back to this, because this is the single most important step Robin needs to take, is to understand what it is that these more pro level players are doing. And they are aligning themselves with the path from the cue ball to the object ball. They know where the contact point is that they're trying to hit. The pathway from the object ball to the pocket is easy to see. Federer doesn't spend any time looking at it at all. He knows where it is. And yet Robin spends most of her time looking at that and not very much time arranging her body around the shot line to the object ball. And Federer's doing that very carefully. He does it quickly, but he's doing it very carefully. His body is exactly lining up the same way along that shot line every time, and he's not concerned what the pathway is to the pocket, because that's something that happens as a result of the shot. It is not a cause. So to end this, let's go back and take a look at Robin's exact question that she asked.
I don't see anybody doing this big giant shot presses that I'm doing.
And the answer to that question is yes, they're doing everything you are. They know the contact point on the object ball. That's obvious to them. They stand back and line their head, eyes, foot, everything with the shot line. Their grip is loose. Their thumb position is correct. They maintain alignment and step into the shot. So they are doing everything on Robin's checklist in the pre-shot routine. And if she practices this enough, she'll be able to do it as fluidly as they do. It doesn't look like they're doing as much as she does, but they certainly are doing every single one of these steps every single time they shoot.